Hello, welcome back to Minneapolitan TV. This is Brandon Fertig. My guest now is David Wahlstedt. Dave is running for park board in the city of Minneapolis in an at-large capacity, which means that everyone in the city gets to vote for Mr. Wahlstedt, or Ward 7, or everyone in the city. How does that work?
Citywide.
Citywide. Okay, introduce yourself. Hi.
Hi, I'm Dave Wahlstedt. I'm running for park board. Citywide, as Brandon mentioned. We've got a lot of incumbents, and me is kind of how I see it. I'm new to the board. I'm an entrepreneur and small business owner, also a longtime Minneapolis resident. So I'm looking to bring some fiscal responsibility and some creative fund generation and cost-saving measures to the board while taking care of our precious parks.
Excellent. Sounds nice to me. What made you want to jump into this capacity?
Well, it's an interesting time. It's kind of a transition. The park board is a little under fire from the city. There's interest in taking it over, and I would hate to see that. My preference would be to keep it, as you say, as it is. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of different efforts. I should clarify that the city isn't necessarily looking to take over the park board, but certain city council members are.
All right.
It's a real concern mm-hmm. on the radar of the park board, and I understand that. So their move is to achieve complete independence mm-hmm. through becoming a separate taxing entity of the state of Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
And I understand where that move comes from. However, I think it's a little premature. I think that the current threat that they're responding to, that the whole city council voted for and is going to be a referendum on the ballot in November, is to eliminate the Board of Estimate and Taxation, which is kind of a mediator. It stands between the city and the park board and sets the funding of the park board. It also limits the tax increases that the city can impose, property tax increases. So that's what the Board of Estimation, they call it for short, does. And so the city does have a referendum to eliminate that Board of Estimate and Taxation, which then would give them complete control over the parks budget and would eliminate the separate entity that's limiting their ability to raise property taxes.
Okay, so kind of a by proxy takeover.
So that's
to the Board of Estimate and Taxation.
Right. If you control the money, you control a lot. Okay. And so if that passes, if that referendum passes, which please vote no on that one, I think that's important. If that passes, then I would totally support the parks seeking complete independence, because independence without independence of funding is not independence.
You kind of want to keep things the way they are.
I want to keep things the way they are, absolutely.
Why do they want to change them?
Well, I think the city thinks it's inefficient to have a separate park board. They point to the fact that we're the only major city left with an independent park board. I would point to the fact that we maybe have the best parks in the nation too, and maybe that's not a coincidence. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some connection there. Another thing is, efficient government sometimes is not the most important thing. Sometimes checks and balances are more important than efficiency. And I believe that the Board of Estimation, separate park board, and city council is a nice sort of check and balance system where the Board of Estimation sets some tax limits, then the city figures out how to spend it. So the Board of Estimation, I would even beef up the Board of Estimation and make it really a very independent citizens board. It's currently kind of controlled more by the city council.
So you're a guy who's got some opinions about how the city should run. Is it particular to parks? Do you I guess why the parks? Are the parks? Is it just that the parks are a special issue to Dave, or is it just kind of a capacity that you feel appropriate to fill?
Yeah. It's a good starting place, I think, for somebody new to government, which I am. Mm-hmm. I think also it's a it's a place where my vision for having a government body that's sort of generating some of its own revenues is very feasible. It's already being done with the park system.